Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy90 here. Welcome back to my F1 2017 Career Mode Season 3 Part 2 here for the Chinese Grand Prix with my Red Bull racing car. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support that you've been showing, not only on yesterday's video, which by the way was incredible. The amount of support that you guys showed for that video was absolutely amazing, but just in general, the support has been absolutely incredible, and I wanted to just say a little massive thank you really for just being so supportive. And yeah, I'm really happy that everyone seems to just enjoying the content, and it just makes me enjoy making videos that much more. But anyway then, so we're going through the R&D tree, and that ultimate upgrade, which will take 6 weeks, you can see that one there that I just highlighted there, it's really tempting me at the moment, and honestly, I'm probably just going to save up for it, because by the time I get towards the 6-week time, I should have the core competency progress eventually unlocked, which will allow for simultaneous development, and by doing simultaneous development, it means then that I can, you know, upgrade different parts of the powertrain whilst that big one comes along. Because for the time being, I'm going to be spending my time getting my resource points stacked up. So I believe for the first 4 races, we're going to be looking to try and get our resource points all stacked up. Maybe by like the end of the Monaco Grand Prix, we'll start really then pumping in some upgrades. So for the first half of the season, it's going to be about research, and it's really going to be about the development stage of things. You know, we want to be stacking up the points, getting them all ready, and then eventually after, like I said, the Monaco Grand Prix, I want to start getting all the upgrades on, so that ultimate engine upgrade can come for, you know, like Belgium, Italy time, and then, you know, I can get some other upgrades coming here and there to just basically boost the car up. And then what I want to do is I want to basically try and replicate Red Bull in real life. You know, they've had a slow start to the season. We've had a cracking start to the season. If you guys haven't watched the first episode of my Season 3 career mode, I'll leave a link in the description down below in case you haven't seen it. Yeah, we've had a cracking start to the season, but I want to make sure that for this first half of the season, you know, we can sort of just about stay with Mercedes and Ferrari, and then for the second half of the season, that's when we go on maximum attack, and that's when we should expect to hopefully have some cruise races where we can just chill. But for the time being then, we did the practice programs, as you saw on your screens right there, and we're coming towards qualifying now, which was to qualify 4th or above. Now, Red Bull's qualifying targets were actually quite high. I didn't expect them to be that high, but they were. They wanted us to try and qualify 4th or above, which means we'd have to beat a Mercedes or Ferrari, which is quite difficult, and also, yeah, beat Kimi Raikkonen, which is again slightly difficult. But for this Chinese Grand Prix, I was on the back foot quite a little bit for this weekend. I wasn't quite happy with the car in the first and middle sector. That's where a lot of time was being lost. You can see that we are best of the rest there, 9/10 off the pace, but Ricciardo was on his set of soft tyres, kind of showing why he wasn't closer with us. But I don't know, like the soft tyres, excuse me, well, not the soft tyres, sorry, but I was thinking of actually running the soft tyres in Q2, because you saw Vettel and Ricciardo ran them, but I did decide to go the super softs. But I don't know, I wasn't feeling overly comfortable here. The first 2 sectors, it was to do with, it was oversteer. I had a lot of problem with oversteer on the car. Maybe I just put a little bit too little downforce on. I believe I was running 6.5 wings, which isn't that bad. Maybe 7.6 wings would be a little bit more suitable, but I'm having to compromise downforce to get that straight line speed up to try and challenge the Mercs and the Ferraris. But at the moment, yeah, I just wasn't quite comfortable this weekend, so we'll have to see how it goes. But into Q3 we go now, round the last corner here, very wide on the exit. It's going to compromise us a little bit in terms of time, and I believe we were 7/10 off the pace, which was actually the best I could get, or the closest I could get to the Red Bulls, to the Mercedes and the Ferrari cars. And it's only P6, unfortunately, not a good qualifying session at all. And Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, only 0.2 of a second off of Vettel and Hamilton. I don't know what drugs Daniel took before we got into this race, but something he's taken has just propelled it. Maybe he had more Red Bull than I did. But anyway, as you can see, we're getting all our resource points, and of course, that means, you know, 6th place still isn't really that bad of a starting spot. You know, we could definitely make some progress, and, you know, we've got a massive turn 1 and turn 2 section where we can get some places, so, you know, it's not all lost and out of the way, but the team want me to finish 4th or above and place higher than 3rd in the championship, which is what we will definitely be going out to do for this Grand Prix in general, basically. Normally at this stages, I would let Crofty and Anthony talk over the grid, but you've seen it so many times that there's just no point anymore. So Vettel starts on pole position. You can see that my teammate Ricciardo has actually got a penalty because he's not starting in 3rd, which means we're actually going to be starting 5th for this Grand Prix. So it's all about where is he starting, Daniel Ricciardo. And he is starting down in 13th place, so he has a 10-place grid penalty for potentially some engine element or gearbox or something else. Maybe he was in a bunch of incidents in practice that I didn't take a note of, but he has got a 10-place grid penalty. Maybe that's why he was extremely overpowered, because the game knew he was going to have a penalty. Who knows? But anyway, we're going to be starting from 5th on the grid, which means that we're now best of the rest in terms of Mercedes and Ferrari. Now we need to work about trying to get through it. But the team want me to do a one-stop race for today. But there's also the option of maybe a 2-stop. Now, I underfueled the car by over a lap because the fuel system is so good that I decided to underfuel it by a lap. So hopefully we don't have too much problems with fuel, but we'll have to wait and see there. But we're going to continue onwards now, and you can see on the grid here, start the Chinese Grand Prix. We've got 4, now 5 red lights here, and it is lights out. There we go here to start the Chinese Grand Prix. It's been a bad start actually from us this time around. The lean mixture tactic not really working that well, and Ocon has come flying through. I'm going to let Ocon through. He goes wide. He undercuts himself there. We switch back on Ocon in towards turn 1, taking the tight inside line down the inside of Bottas and Raikkonen, but they're still there. I'm going to have to leave them the room. Bottas and Raikkonen still just touching me a little bit there. It's actually Sebastian Vettel, my bad. It's not Raikkonen we are battling, but unfortunately we didn't get any of those moves done. But we're in the slipstream now. AlphaTauri, Bottas, and we're not going to let the Mercs and Ferraris get away. We're going to put up a fight here down inside of Bottas, and Vettel leaves us some space there, and Sebastian Vettel gives that one up, and we're up into P3 now. A great start for us in the early stage of this race. Hamilton leads, Raikkonen 2nd, myself in 3rd, Vettel 4th, and on to the end of lap 2 now. Hamilton and Raikkonen seem to be battling hard up front now, and we're looking to try and maintain the gap with them very wide at the moment, pushing very hard. Hamilton sets a fast lap, Raikkonen sets the fastest lap, then we set the fastest lap, and then Bottas sets the fastest lap. So all of us right now pushing very hard in the early stage of the race to really crack on, with Raikkonen pressurizing Lewis Hamilton onto lap 3 of this Grand Prix now. And as you can see, I'm still just about there with Raikkonen, but I'm just not quite in the DRS range. I'm about half a second shy of DRS, and if I had that, I would be much more competitive in this race. But unfortunately, rather than looking what Raikkonen's up to, I need to look what's going on behind, because Valtteri Bottas is closing. He's got DRS. He's got that extremely powerful Mercedes engine. Can he go for a move? No, very close, but he's not able to get past. And for the first time actually this season, I actually have to do some sort of overtaking or defending, because in Australia, I didn't need to do any. But Hamilton there, a very bad line it looked like into the last corner. Our line, not too bad there, but look at that. Kimi Raikkonen up ahead is going to go for a move here for the lead, but I can't worry about that. It's Bottas there. He actually sort of goes for a gap that wasn't really there, and luckily we managed to hold on to the position as Kimi Raikkonen takes the lead off Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, Bottas tried to go for the outside line, but there just wasn't enough room for his entire car to fit there. So, yeah, he had to then brake and then shut the DRS, in which then I decided to fully take that inside line. I didn't cut off Bottas in any sort of way. There simply just wasn't that much room. I wanted him to try and basically move over to the inside line so I could sort of, you know, do the thing that I did with Ocon and brake earlier and give him that tight line, but he didn't really take it here. But on to lap 4 of the Grand Prix now. There's something I wanted to show you. Now, if you guys are unaware, this is now, as you can see, Bottas is coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Why? Because he's not overtaking me. This is something that I've noticed. If you guys are under attack and you want to know when the AIs are pitting, that's your prime example right there. If Bottas wasn't pitting this lap, he would have flown past me at this stage. But what the AIs tend to do is on the straight before the pit stops, they stay behind you and they don't bother going for an overtake. And there's proof. There goes Bottas into the pits, which is something that I never really realized. I've had it once or twice, but I didn't think it was all the time. Turns out it is. So yeah, that's something I wasn't really aware of. But yeah, Bottas pits for his first stop, which means that the AIs are definitely doing a 2-stop in this race. However, I'm also converting to a 2-stop. I was going to do the 1-stop onto mediums, but the super soft tyres felt very odd, and I didn't think I could get them towards the end, so I've decided to commit to a 2-stop now rather than the 1-stop. This may actually help me. This may completely hinder my progress. I'm not really sure, but to be honest, I'd rather go maximum attack than I would maximum conservativeness. And at the end of the day, I don't really know what's the best way, because it's quite clear that the Red Bull is not the fastest car. And something I should have mentioned actually is replay cams or broadcasting cameras. Normally you'd have like I'd edit a broadcasting camera into the pits. Unfortunately, I clicked to advance, so there are no broadcasting cams, because I completely forgot that you have to go down and then click view replay, as I just decided to just click the same button of advance because I'm an idiot. But anyway then, so we're carrying on out of the pits now, and we're just behind Lewis Hamilton, but yeah, at this moment, I don't really know what's the best way to win in the Red Bull, because it's clearly not as fast as the Mercedes, and it's not as fast as the Ferrari. So what we're trying to do now is basically a tester. This race, I'm doing a 2-stop. If it turns out the 1-stop was the better way to go to get the track position, then in future I will do that. But for the time being, I want to see what it's like being racy and being aggressive and sticking to a 2-stop like the front runners are. So as you can see there, we go down the inside of Danny Kvyat, who is yet to make his pit stop, and he continued on his way. But if we do need to do that, we may look at trying to get some tyre wear upgrades in on the car. But as you can see, Lewis Hamilton now is currently in P2. He's about 3.5 seconds up the road. He is pulling away at this stage of the race, and Bottas is now on my tail. But unfortunately, the fuel system is also a slight problem. I underfueled the car too much, and I need to start dropping the car into lean quite a lot, and now I'm losing time in this middle stint. And here comes Valtteri Bottas with the DRS wide open. I'm going to give him that tight line like I always do towards the inside line. Brake very, very late here. I've actually outbroken myself. I am going to run wide. I'm going to go off the track ever so slightly, but I do hold the position on Valtteri Bottas, and unfortunately for Valtteri, he doesn't get the move done. But luckily, despite running wide, I still stay in front of Valtteri for the time being. But you can see that he is still very close, and he's going to have a second bite of the cherry here, so no doubt Bottas will get very close, but he doesn't actually make the move stick. But now we're onto a little bit of a defensive marker now, trying to hold off Valtteri Bottas, and here he comes once again. He's actually going to go to the inside line very, very early. I give him a very tight little squeeze there, or a tight little defensive maneuver. Lewis Hamilton is now 4.1 seconds clear, so at the moment I'm doing no help towards my attack on Hamilton. So at this stage of the race, I'm now thinking, do I hold off Bottas and let him go after Hamilton, or should I just, you know, stop fight, or should I just keep fighting Bottas? And unfortunately, I have the instinct of, I must battle you whatever it takes. So now I'm going deep into battle with Valtteri Bottas. This time, I make the braking zone, and as you can see, swoop around the outside of Valtteri, and you can see how much time that you can gain from doing that defensive maneuver. Look how far back Bottas was, at least 6 or 7 tenths, and that completely eliminates his second bite of the cherry on the pit straight, and that's fine by me. You know, you can keep doing that. Onto lap 14 of the Grand Prix now. Lewis Hamilton is just, it literally is just darting off. And at this stage in the race, I've now committed to defending against Bottas. I can't do anything else now, so I'm going to keep fighting him. And again, look, Valtteri goes deep to the inside line. This time, I take the outside line. I run wide yet again, missed the braking point, which I still held off Bottas. But you can see that time around, I didn't quite gain as much as I normally did, or like I did on the previous lap. But Bottas actually pits. And that's the funny thing, because that time around, Bottas came into the pits, but he went for the move. So that's why I feel like the staying behind thing doesn't always work, because of that point proven here. But then again, on lap 15, you can see Vettel. Look how close he is to the back of my car. He can fly past. Opens up the DRS. He's not going anywhere, you know. He's not physically going for the overtake, which then I knew, right, Vettel's coming in at the end of this lap. But Bottas didn't do that. So don't take what I say granted for word all the time, because Bottas attacked and then went into the pits, whereas Vettel, you know, didn't attack, but is still going into the pits. But it happens quite a bit. So there you go, Vettel's off into the pits. But I'm now going to try and do something a little bit different. Again, I'm trying to mix things up. I want to see what I can do to take the fight to Ferrari and Red Bull. And at the moment, I keep saying Red Bull. I'm going to have to try and get used to saying Mercedes again, because I keep saying Ferrari and Red Bull right now. Red Bull is the team I'm in. But I now need to think of a way to take the fight to them. But there is a yellow flag, actually, that's come out at the end of this first sector. You can see it on the mini-map there, and I'm not sure who that is, but it's, oh my, it's Valtteri Bottas. He's actually got a puncture here, so big shock here is yet again more problems for the front two teams. Bottas with a puncture, and that's Kimi Raikkonen that just went past, so Kimi is also a long way back in this Grand Prix, so big problems there for Valtteri Bottas, and that's very unfortunate for him. And on to lap 19 of the Grand Prix. That is Valtteri Bottas there, and we're coming to lap Valtteri. He's now a lap down in this Grand Prix, so Valtteri's chances of scoring any points in this race are now over. He is not scoring today, which means that's going to be 2 non-scoring point finishes in a row. But we're coming now onto lap 20 of the Grand Prix, and this is the time where I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And I'm going to be going for a brand new set of super soft tyres in this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel are on a set of medium tyres. I'm going for the quickest super soft tyres for this stint. Why? Because I basically just want to go all out attack. I want to see what I can do in this race. You know, Hamilton's very far ahead. Vettel is now going to be very far ahead. I've spent a lot of time out on these tyres, and basically this just shows to me, is it better to keep trying the one-stop races or go for those 2 stops and attack the Ferraris and the Mercedes? There we go, I got it right this time around. But as you can see, we're in front of Daniel Ricciardo by about 3 seconds, I believe the gap is, and about 10 seconds behind Vettel. So we've got a lot of work to do if we're going to have any chance of getting higher up the grid. But unfortunately, on to lap 28 of the Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix. There was nothing I could actually do in order to fight Vettel or Lewis Hamilton. Bottas sets the fast lap of the race, so that's actually kind of cool. But coming across the line then, I will take it. It is going to be P3 today for the Chinese Grand Prix. It is a podium, and if all things considered, I definitely should have done the one stop today. If I stayed out longer on my super soft tyres, I probably would have been about, let's say, about 7 seconds clear of Hamilton. Or 7 seconds behind Hamilton. It would have been about 13 seconds. We would have both been on the mediums, and then I could have battled him to the end and try and held on to track position. So, in hindsight, it looks like the way forward for this Red Bull is to do the one stops. And to be honest, I'm not that disappointed because, yes, I still got a podium, but now I know what I need to do to take the fight to these top 2 teams. I now know that track position is crucial, and by doing one less pit stop, it is really going to help me in this race. But Daniel Ricciardo here finishes 5th, which is a very nice result, of course, for him. We did have a 1-2, of course, in Australia, but of course, we'll have to wait till the end of the season to get those again, hopefully. But as you can see then, Hamilton wins the Grand Prix just like he did in real life. Sebastian Vettel finishes 2nd, just like he did in real life. And the number 2 driver in Red Bull, which is me, finishes 3rd, just like in real life, because Max Verstappen finished 3rd, and he's the number 2 driver at Red Bull. So, well, you know what I mean. You know, he's got the yellow T-cam, technically the number 2 driver, but they don't classify it as that. So, basically, we just replicated the podium from real-life Grand Prix racing. So, yeah, still doing that. But anyway, there it is, guys. There is the full race then. So, Hamilton wins, myself in 3rd, Vettel 2nd, Raikkonen, Bottas not scoring, neither did Magnussen or Palmer. And as you can see then, Perez and the 2 Toro Rossos getting some strong finishes. In the Drivers' Championship, the gap stays at 7 points, with Sebastian Vettel now being the closest rival to myself, with me on 40 and Vettel on 33. Hamilton kickstarts his championship aspirations. Mercedes move all the way up into 3rd after getting their first points of the season. And that is it for this race. You can see that we're now up to 896 resource points, and crucially, after just 2 races, we are already halfway to that ultimate engine upgrade. And I'm going to go for it now. I'm going to go straight for that ultimate engine upgrade. And then I'm just going to put parts in the car here or there until that big one comes along. And you can see, I want the big engine upgrade. Yeah, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed today's F1 2017 career mode here for the Chinese Grand Prix. If you have, please don't forget to drop a like on the video. It'd be absolutely awesome. It shows that you guys continue to support these episodes. And yeah, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to the channel already. These subscriptions are just consistently coming in every single day from new people jumping on in and subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely awesome. But until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care all. Peace.